Welcome to Season 4, Episode 2 of The Colors of Prog, and today I have 3 Prog-related live recordings to discuss. The first is Fish, Wisconsin 1997, the Midwest Broadcast 2-CD set. Now, this is recorded at some place called Shank Hall, not Skank Hall, but Shank Hall in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on August 14th, 1997. This 2-CD set is released by Golden Rain in 2023, and it comes from a unsourced local FM radio broadcast. Now, Golden Rain is one of those labels that are hard to, it's hard to find out where they're actually located. They have been known to release a large quantity of live material sourced from FM radio simulcasts or broadcasts, and of jazz, progressive rock, classic rock bands, but more prog and jazz, which is I find really quite interesting. In trying to do some research, Golden Rain can be traced back to either Turkey or Hong Kong, and it makes sense. They don't want anybody to know where they're really located. But in any case, getting back to this one, if anyone does not know, Fish, this gentleman here, was born Derek William Dick in Scotland. He joined up with other musicians, long story short, and Marillion was founded in 1981, around therefore. They gigged constantly, with Fish mainly writing songs with guitarist who's still there, Steve Rothery. Although they only released 4 highly thought of studio albums from 1983 to 1987, every album has something good or more so to offer. From 1983's Script for a Jester's Tear, 1984's Fugazi, 1985's Misplaced Childhood, a favorite of many, and 1987's Clutching at Straws. Marillion toured frequently and also recorded songs that would turn up years later in reissues and special editions, and Marillion are known for that. Fish left Marillion at the end of 1988, I believe, and Steve Hogarth replaced him. And Steve Hogarth, also known as H. Why these band members from Marillion choose pseudonyms is beyond me. Someone may know more, and they probably do. Too much to go into concerning Fish's exit from Marillion, the band, but he has enjoyed a plentiful, if erratically successful, solo artist career. His 5th album as a solo artist, 1997's Sunsets on Empire, was a collaboration with Stephen Wilson. Yes, that Stephen Wilson, of Porcupine Tree, and remixing and remastering classic prog music of bygone days fame. Yes, so Stephen Wilson and Fish did a collaboration. Stephen Wilson played a lot of the instruments and co-wrote songs with Fish for Sunsets on Empire. And that leads us up to Wisconsin 1997. This was a tour. Wilson wasn't in the band, to my belief, but this was the tour to support that album. This sounds very good, actually, sound quality-wise. And take a grain of salt, our singer sounds like he's hovering between being inebriated or entirely fucking with the audience. and this might have been his thing, his persona with Marillion, that he, when they perform live, depending on the gig, depending on the venue, or the audience, he just might just have been his thing. He talks and chit-chats in between songs, more than usual than you would find on a live recording. But this being an unofficial release, I get it. If it was simulcast or broadcast on the Milwaukee radio station, it might have been an indie station or a college radio station. They did exist in those days. It could be why a lot of that stuff was left in. Somebody did a really good recording, or maybe some master exchanged hands and ended up at Golden Rain. Yes, Golden Rain. Now, again, it appears the bulk of the set supports Sunsets on Empire with a small selection of other solo songs and some early Marillion favorites. When the music kicks in, it's beyond good, so no qualms there. And the sound, as I said, is very good. So if you can find this, I recommend it. Disc 1 runs 80 minutes. It's got like a dozen songs. Disc 2 runs 50 minutes, and it's got 6 songs. And it's all, they did their research at Golden Rain. Why am I always thinking of Donald Trump? Well, that's Golden Showers. Anyway, they did a good job in crediting songwriters here. So, we have Fish, and then Rothery, Chovavis, Mosley, Fish Simmons. It's just really a surprisingly good 2 CD set. There's not a lot to go on in terms of liner notes, but and each disc has like a picture thingy. It's surprisingly good. So if you're a Marillion and or Fish fan, or both, yeah. Fish, Wisconsin 1997, the Midwest Broadcast 2 CD set. Highly recommended. Next, we have this big one, a big surprise. Gil Evans and Jaco Pastorius, Live Under the Sky, Tokyo, 1984. It's taken from a Japanese radio broadcast on the NHK BS Channel 1. The 11 tunes on this 2-disc set, released by Hi-Hat in 2016, finds a sometimes chaotic joining between keyboardist Gil Evans and bass player Pastorius. On the downside from his former Stella collaborations, due to Pastorius' erratic behavior and exposure to drug use. I'll leave that at that. However, this is a good night in Japan, and the audience appears to be more unusually loud and appreciative than you're used to in more Japanese audiences. Now, Hi-Hat is also another label that can be traced to either Greece or Finland, or sometimes both. They don't want to be tracked down. They release some progressive rock artists and a lot of jazz recordings, also sourced from radio broadcasts, i.e., they're illegal, right? Or they're bootlegged. But this is a good one. Well, of note and of interest, there's also 5 horn players and a backup bass player in Mark Egan, unsung guitarist Hiram Bullock, who also played with the Grateful Dead. And Bullock really gets a lot of play on this. He manages to keep things anchored. And his guitar playing just really goes out into places, and there are moments where he and Pastorius just like dance around each other musically. It's quite good. The set begins with Stone Free, a Hendrix cover, but soon we get one of Jaco's signature solo moments, The Chicken, with a K, Chiken. And there are a number of tangents that are labeled Jaco solo, but it sounds like the band is following him wherever he is going musically. Now, this is not a recording you dearly need in your life, but if you are a fan of Evans or Pastorius and wish to hear them both shortly before they had passed, then this unofficial release might be for you. So this is Gil Evans and Jaco Pastorius, Live Under the Sky, Tokyo, 1984, and on Hi-Hat Records again, or the Hi-Hat label, and maybe you can get a bit of a look at the, excuse the glare, at the other songs on here. But it's a curiously good document. Now, more Prog related, sort of like Fish, is Soft Machine. This is Bundles, released on Cherry Red Esoteric in 2022. This is a remaster. It's a 2-disc CD set of featuring a remastered version of Bundles and a live set recorded at Nottingham University in October 1975 in the UK. It's hard to imagine that since forming in 1968 and with so many variations in their lineup, that Soft Machine only recorded 13 studio albums between 68 and 2023. But there's also a wealth of live material out there, and some of it quite good. And a band also known as Soft Machine Legacy, I need to say, is also out there with band members who were in and out of the group. And of course, needless to say, founder David Allen, co-founding member David Allen, also went on to form Gong. But a lot of you probably know that. So Bundles was originally released in 1975, and it features Alan Holdsworth, guitar player, in the lineup, along with Mike Ratledge on keyboards, Carl Jenkins on keyboards and sax, Roy Babington on bass, and John Marshall on drums. Now, personally speaking, I'm not a huge fan of Holdsworth's jazzy guitar runs, and to me, they sound too fast without staying a half note longer for more effect. And he also has a tapping technique about 15 years before Eddie Van Halen had used that. But I guess we have to call him innovative regarding his guitar work for that reason. As a guitar player, Holdsworth did appear with the bands Nucleus, Tempest, Gong, the Tony Williams Lifetime, Bruford, and of course the short-lived supergroup UK, which also featured John Wetton, Eddie Jobson, and Bill Bruford. By 1976's Softs, the very next album, he was replaced by guitarist John Etheridge, who was still with the band. By the way, Soft Machine released Inner Doors in 2023, the last album to feature longtime drummer John Marshall. So, I like Soft Machine. I like the various incarnations and the itinerations, the different band members. And this is a bit of a more experimental album from them, Bundles. Not that I dislike, you have to go with the flow with Holdsworth's style. It's a bit different. But the live material sounds good. You know, Esoteric, they always do a really good job. I rarely heard an Esoteric label remaster or re-release of something where they didn't go the extra mile. For this UK-based label just really does tremendous work. I've said that in the past, and again, so this is Bundles, Soft Machine. So today, Prog related, right? So we had Fish, Wisconsin, 1997. Gil Evans and Jaco Pastorius, live in Tokyo. And Bundles, Soft Machine. That's today's show. Thank you for watching and listening. And if I had to pick one out of this that I would highly recommend out of this bunch, it would be the Fish, Wisconsin Live, followed by the Bundles, Soft Machine. The Gil Evans is for with Jaco Pastorius. It's a live document of a well-recorded performance from a time that was a moment in history, and it's not a live material from then, so which is probably why they released it. Anyway, see you again. See you soon.